Welcome back to Spotlight. One of the many wonders of Jamaica, Lover's Leap is located in the breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth, affectionately called St. Bess. The beauty spot emerges where the Santa Cruz Mountains come to an abrupt end at Jamaica's south coast, exposing a 1,700-foot vertical drop down to the waves crashing on Cutlass Bay. The lookout provides a fantastic vantage point to see for miles out to the Caribbean Sea. Along the coast, the view stretches as far as Rocky Point, Clarendon to the east and to Treasure Beach in the west.
My name is Amanda Clark, Tourism Training Officer for Mandeville on the South Coast with TPD Co. Lover's Leap is situated in the parish of St. Elizabeth and in the school district of Yardley Chase. The price to come in, it's $300 per person, and we're open from 9 until 7, so 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. in the afternoon. The activities that can be done here, if persons are interested in keeping their weddings here, but we're open to that. School trips, especially persons doing history, to learn a little about the history that has been here as it relates to the plantation, and also for family fun days and fam trips.
Next to the property, you can see Jamaica's most recently constructed lighthouse, the Lover's Leap Lighthouse. Or you can take a 5-mile hike down to Cutlass Bay. We took a tour of Lover's Leap with Tamelia. Here are some highlights.
Afternoon, I'm Tamelia. I'm going to be a tour guide for today. I want to welcome to Lover's Leap attraction. It's a walking tour, so we're starting out here on the compound. We're telling you about the different trees that we have on the compound presently, giving the history of the compound and the story. The duration of this tour is about 5 minutes in length. It's not a very long tour. As you go along, you notice that we have various warning sign in placement. Not only that, feel free to ask questions as we go along also.
Awesome, let's do it.
All right, as you can see, we have 2 stumps right there.
Yeah.
Those stumps are placed in memory of the 2 enslaved African persons that actually give Lover's Leap its history and its name. Back in 1804, this entire community that you're now in, which is called Yardley Chase, and adjoining communities such as Tophill and Southfield, 521 acres was a plantation. Now, the main crop that grew on this plantation was the coffee, the cotton, the Bahama grass, and Guinea grass. And they used to use grass to make mattresses back in the days also.
Right.
Yes. Now, Mizzy, which is a female enslaved African, she lived on this plantation. Tunki, the male, he lived on a neighboring plantation called Content, but eventually came over to work on this plantation. So came over, saw Mizzy, liked her, courtship developed, relationship developed. Now they started dating. Back then, this was also one dating spot that they used to have. The name also was Lookout and not Lover's Leap. So as you know, persons in love after a hard and rigid day on the plantation is sneak away, meet, cuddle up, have a little fun, then they went their separate ways. So Richard Chadley, now the owner of this plantation, was also in love with Mizzy and wanted Mizzy for himself. Not only that,
Mizzy was a hot girl.
Yeah, she was very beautiful. That's what we heard. Yes. Not only that, Mizzy also had a brother who wanted her also to have the relationship with Sir Chadley instead of Tunki, because right there, power, fame, and authority. And the brother wanted all of that.
Right.
So when he found out his sister was secretly meeting Tunki afterward, he went back now and told Sir Chadley everything.
Oh.
Yes. No, you can imagine. No, you can imagine how angry this gets Mr. Chadley.
Yeah.
So he beat and threatened Sir Tunki if he had ever seen them back together again. After a while, they stopped seeing each other. But when persons in love, it is very hard to be separated from each other. You want to be around a person 24/7, so to speak. So imagine now, Tunki's on the plantation every day. He's seeing Mizzy. He cannot talk to her. He cannot cuddle, and he cannot have any more fun. So after a while, it gets him pretty frustrated. So that's where he decided that even though Mr. Chadley might catch him and beat him or even kill him, he's going to risk all that just to see Mizzy all over again. Yes, so he started seeing Mizzy all over again. But after he started seeing her now and explained to her what had happened and why they stopped seeing each other, that's when they came up with the idea of plans for them to escape. That was a pretty good idea, a pretty good plan, because this cliff you're now looking at is 1,750 feet above sea level, and you have caves down there also.
Oh.
Yes. So you know this would be an ideal spot for anybody to escape, because once you reach down in that forest there,
That's it.
there's
Nobody's
no
gonna
way
find
you're gonna
you.
find them. That was the plan they had. But guess who intervened again? The brother. Yes, he overheard the plan, and you know where he went again and who him tell? Sir Chadley. Now you can imagine how angry this gets Mr. Chadley again.
Yeah.
Only this time though, he didn't react at the same time. He waited until the appointed time came for them to make that escape. That's when he chased after them, and that's how this community that you're now in also gets its name. The Yardley comes from Mr. Chadley because they chased after the slaves. The name this community Yardley Chase. No, you're chased at the point and you reach the edge of a cliff. Where can you go? Remember, if they had gone backwards, Sir Chadley is right behind him, and you know it. He's not coming alone, and there's no way Tunky could have fought off so many persons by him poor little self. So that's when they decided, you know what, it is easier for us to die as lovers than to live a life and to be separate.
Wow.
So that's when they took the final embrace, they held hands together, and they just slept.
Wow.
So hence you get the name Lovers Leap.
And this is where they left from.
Not exactly the spot, but we placed it there. As you can see, that's the only cliff that's stretching outwards now. That's why we actually placed them there in memory of them.